We'll definitely answer that question, but I understand that, well, we're not just done with Kaduna yet, because our correspondent in Kaduna, Chimezie Enyocha, is standing by. Hello, Chimezie.
Good morning.
Oh, come on. It's a very good morning indeed, but you're sounding a little bit too low for me. But in any case, what is the situation like in Kaduna, where I'm sure many Nigerians have been following the announcement of results?
Well, Kaduna State has been exciting and very peaceful since the last Saturday when Nigerians fell out to cast their votes to elect their president and National Assembly members. Well, after the election on Saturday, and of course, later in the evening, collection of results begun. The whole state has been calm. I went around the state capital yesterday, but what I discovered was that people were still indoors, apparently because of fear of the known. You know, Kaduna State happened to be one of the states that was affected in the 2011 post-election crisis. So because of that, residents decided to stay indoors until probably the final announcement of the presidential election results, and of course subsequently what may follow. So the roads and streets within the state capital were still almost empty as at yesterday when I went around the state capital, and even along the major highways they are still empty. So everybody was glued to his or her television, radio, and of course social media, trying to find out what was actually happening when the results will be announced. So unfortunately, the results of Kaduna came in. You know, the states, they live very far away from each other, the local governments. So the results came bit by bit up to around after 4 p.m. Monday, when the final results were collected for onward movement to Abuja. So when the returning officer, Professor Kaura from Osman Danfodio University, took the results to Abuja for announcement. So I can say that Kaduna has been peaceful, and the whole state is calm. For now, there's no outbreak of violence in any form, while residents are still awaiting. Of course, at least the Kaduna State results have been announced officially by INEC, that is in Abuja. The residents are still awaiting for the final results. Of course, supporters of the various political parties are, of course, hopeful of victory at the end of the day. So I can say that Kaduna has been very, very peaceful and very exciting.
Did you get a chance to speak to residents of Kaduna to gauge whether they were more or less satisfied and believed that their will was reflected in the votes that were announced?
Yes, I spoke on Saturday when the poll was still ongoing. I spoke to some residents, even on the queue. But you know, most of them expressed satisfaction with the outcome. But of course, the major challenge then was the failure of the corridor, which some of them expressed disappointment, and of course called on the Independent National Electoral Commission to jettison the use of corridor then, and of course use the manual process. And prototype INEC, I don't know, for reasons best known to the Commission, decided to revert back to the use of manual accreditation, which of course sped, hasten up the accreditation process and subsequently allowing voters to residents to cast their votes. So the residents were full of hope and expectations that our votes will count. At least at various polling units that I visited, there was no form of rigging. The voters were orderly, including the INEC officials too, as well as security agents. They were all orderly and lives to their responsibilities.
Spoke to Malam Nasser Rufai earlier, the governorship candidate of the APC in Kaduna. He said there were irregularities in parts of the state, and that the irregularities were serious enough for them to have complained to INEC with a view to getting those particular areas and the elections that took place there looked at again. Are you aware of the problem areas and what exactly Malam was talking about?
Well, if anybody raises any allegation of irregularities, Kaduna State is a very big state with 23 local government areas. Some of these local government councils are about 3 or 4 hours away from the state capital. But I can tell you that from where I monitored the election, I didn't see any form of irregularities as said or as raised by the APC one candidate. Of course, we also had of pockets of, arguments between the party agents and like in the southern part of the state. I know that initially when the voting commenced, the acquisition commenced, we had the issues of that up to around 9 a.m. in the morning that some areas were yet to receive voting materials up to 9 a.m. But at least I tried to find out from the INEC official in charge of those areas, and they told me that it was as a result of logistics problems such as transportation. INEC went into collaboration with the AUT, that's the National Union of Road Transport Workers, and within the hours of 10, thereabout, the problems were solved. But in terms of hearing in cases of like ballot box snatching, illegal thumbprinting and things like that, I didn't witness any where I monitored the election.
Well, Chimezie, go ahead, Olamide.
Given the margin, the wide margin of the victory of the APC over the PDP there in Kaduna State, I'm interested to know, what was the reception like? If you could stress that. What was the reception? Was it a muted reception of the result? Was there any jubilation? What was the mood like?
Well, I thought, hello?
Yes, Chimezie, we can hear you.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, after the voting, in some areas, voting ended as late as 8 p.m. on Saturday night. And in some areas, collation at the what level commenced on that Saturday night up to Sunday. Collection continued on Sunday morning up to Sunday evening. And I can tell you that by the time the results from the various local governments started coming in, both at the INEC office in Kaduna, of course, the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressive Congress all had their party agents in attendance. And I can tell you that from what I slept at the INEC office on Sunday up to Monday, and there was no issue of either a party rejecting results or things like that. Of course, what we heard that maybe there were some isolated cases of people, maybe a particular polling unit having one issue or the other. But at the end of the day, both parties unanimously agreed that maybe in line with the electoral act that maybe either a unit issue cannot actually invalidate the entire vote of a particular unit or what. So from the first federal government up to the last one when it came in, there was all the parties involved we are unanimous in accepting the results. And of course, talking about the reception of the people, the party that won, that is the APC, of course, I saw this happiness, society, and hope some of them started jubilating that at least their party has won.
Chimezie, we make reference to what you described as a sense of muted apprehension among the residents of Kaduna, and of course
Yes.
the fact that well, the streets were calm. But then let's take a look at this issue of security. We have unconfirmed reports that there was military presence on the streets, particularly in Zaria and other parts of the state, maybe in anticipation of a breakdown of law and order. Can you confirm that?
Yes, I can confirm that there was heavy presence of not only the military, other security agencies were also on ground across the state. As I told you earlier, you know that Kaduna was one of the states affected in the 2011 post-election crisis. And people this time around didn't want to take anything by chance because, shortly after the 2011 election and results were announced on Sunday, preceding the election. So people were caught unaware, some people were maimed, some injured, some even died. So this time around, the residents decided to stay back at home until the results are announced and winners emerge. So based on that, in fact, again, I have to also commend the security agencies because as of yesterday, I saw even both air and ground surveillance. There was a helicopter, a police helicopter hovering around the state, and there were also heavy presence of both combined team of the police, the army, the air force, and the civil defense. And yesterday, I also heard, with no unconfirmed reports, said that there was a hiccup between some residents in the state and the soldiers that led to the injury of some persons. But I tried calling the Army spokesperson of the 1 division of Nigerian Army, but his lines were not going through. So I cannot confirm that there was any issue like that.
All right, Jimmy.